Sometimes the hardest part of your day doesn't happen when you're busy or under pressure. It happens at night when everything finally becomes quiet and you lie down expecting your mind to rest. But instead, it becomes more active than ever. The moment your head touches the pillow, your thoughts begin to move faster. One idea leads to another, and before you realize it, your mind is jumping between past conversations, future worries, and things you didn't even think about during the day. During the day, your attention is constantly occupied by tasks, people, and distractions. But at night, when everything slows down, your mind turns inward and begins processing everything that was left unresolved. This is why small moments suddenly feel important. A simple conversation becomes something you analyze deeply. A small decision turns into something you question. Things that didn't matter before now feel bigger and more urgent. At night, your thoughts don't just appear, they amplify. They become louder, heavier, and more emotional, even if the situation itself hasn't changed. You may find yourself asking questions that don't have immediate answers. Did I say the wrong thing? What if I made a mistake? What if tomorrow doesn't go as planned? The more you engage with these thoughts, the more your mind accelerates. It can feel like your brain is trying to solve everything at once, as if you need to figure out your entire life before you can finally relax and fall asleep. But this is not clarity. This is overload. Your mind is not designed to process everything in a single moment, especially not when your body is trying to rest. Nothing is wrong with you. This experience is very common. Your brain is simply trying to process everything it didn't have time to process during the day. The problem is not that you are thinking. The problem is that you feel like you need to resolve those thoughts immediately. When your brain feels pressure to find answers, it produces even more thoughts. This creates a loop where thinking leads to more thinking, without ever reaching a real conclusion. Trying to force your mind to stop often makes things worse. When you resist your thoughts, your brain interprets them as important and keeps bringing them back again and again. Instead of fighting your mind, you can begin to change how you relate to your thoughts. You can notice them without following each one. You don't need to solve everything tonight. You don't need to have every answer before you fall asleep. Most of what your mind is trying to figure out can wait. A simple shift in attention can help break the cycle. For example, focusing on your breathing can calm both your mind and your body. Slow, steady breaths send a signal that it's safe to relax. Another powerful habit is writing down your thoughts before going to bed. When thoughts stay in your mind, they repeat. But when you put them on paper, they become clearer and less intense. What feels overwhelming in your head often turns out to be much simpler once you see it written down. It gives your mind permission to let go. It's also important to remember that nighttime is not the best moment for decision-making. Your mind is more emotional, more sensitive, and more likely to exaggerate problems. What feels urgent at night often feels manageable in the morning. Distance creates clarity. Learning to pause instead of reacting to every thought is a powerful skill. You don't need to follow every idea that appears in your mind. Some thoughts can simply pass, like clouds moving through the sky. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Over time, you begin to create space between you and your thoughts. And in that space, your mind naturally starts to slow down. Sleep doesn't come from forcing your mind to be silent. It comes from allowing it to settle without pressure. If your thoughts are racing tonight, take a slow breath and remind yourself that this moment is temporary. You're not behind and you're not failing. Your mind is simply processing more than usual, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to rest even if your thoughts are still there, because rest doesn't require a perfect mind. It only requires a moment of letting go. And little by little, your mind will follow. If this video helped you understand your thoughts, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content about mental clarity and overthinking. And if you'd like, share in the comments what your mind tends to think about at night.